These 4 panels of cobblestone streets were created using the Hirst Cobblestone Mold number 210. This one with the statue on top with this fountain is essentially the oldest one. I created it about 5 or 6 years ago, and I created it to be modular so I could take out parts and rearrange them. Initially I based it on newspaper, meaning on the base I had some kind of newspaper, put them all together, tried to make it as square as possible. Then more recently, to match the other ones, I put it on these for sale signs, which you can get from Walmart for about $1.50. So there, unceremoniously, are the different pieces that come off of this particular one. So on this one, I did glue, this is at least too wide here, and this piece should come out. It's a little bit stuck, but essentially here's the modular area where I can move pieces around. So today I actually want to update these pieces because in addition to swapping out this part, the fountain, which I've never done in the last 5 years, I'd like to have 4 regular pieces because the fountain can be a little distracting. I also want to fix little defects that I've noticed. For example, this area hasn't been dry brushed my pale gray color yet, and then it's a little distracting to have these white borders. So today I'm going to be fixing those up and also explaining a little bit more about how I've created these sections and the custom mold I made to do it. Here's the mold you buy. This is number 210. I've cast from it a whole bunch. This one here, the original, is only cast from this, and it's a great mold. Definitely one of the ones I would highly suggest you get from Hirst. Here I'm just showing some of the little defects that I want to fix with these floor tiles that I created. So here there's an absence of plaster, so there's a little depression. Here I filled in this depression with some glue and some static grass. And then if we just pan over, you can see where there's some white, where from however I glued them together or didn't glue them, there's just an empty area here. So I want to fill this in so it's less noticeable in the videos or however I use these for pictures. And as I mentioned, I want to hit the edges with some paint so that's not as noticeable. And then I also want to weather them, and here for example this would be one that's been slightly weathered. I actually use for the paints apple barrel pewter gray and then a dry brush of country gray. So I don't use a black base coat. This is actually some kind of black wash I applied, and then maybe I painted over it again. So I think these ones look more organic, more natural, and I just want to replicate that on this board and this one over here. And as I already said, I want to take this section out and just replace it with some normal sections. Bare street. When you buy the cobblestone mold, you get a 2x2 section, which is very useful for filling in large areas. You get 2 of these 1x1 sections. You get a corner piece, a straight edge, 2x1 without any straight edges, and the 2x1 with the straight edge. So if there's only these pieces besides the corner to actually make something straight, you have to cast this a whole bunch of times to go ahead and make a 12x12, essentially 12 inches by 12 inches street section, as I've done. So this is what you end up with. And what I did, because that would take so long, is several months ago I actually did this. I made my own custom mold. This is only my second attempt at mold making. So I obviously glued 2 of these together, had them sitting out in my Lego mold, and Hirst shows you how to do all of this, and I created this, which has definitely speeded up my production of the city street sections. So since creating this mold, I've done the next 3. So now I actually have like a sizable area. Unfortunately, I didn't do them perfectly. I didn't create this mold perfectly, and I might get into some of the defects later. But it has essentially worked, and it's definitely speeded things up. As an example of something I can do with my custom mold, for example, I noticed this. Oh, I can just take that out. Just using the straight side. Which is actually, I think I am going to use this method. So I do have straight pieces in here. I think I'm going to glue these two together, leave these pieces separate, paint it, and I won't have to have this in any more pictures unless I want to. So this is an example of my modular design, and of course with Hirst art stuff you can do practically anything you want to do. So again, I use Apple Barrel Pewter Gray for my base color. I'm somewhat sloppily just going to paint it right on. No undercoat of black, or white for that matter, so I'm painting directly onto the plaster. And I do cast with white dental plaster. I've noticed, of course, if I actually had the gray tough stone or other colors of plaster, wouldn't have to. Some things wouldn't have to be so necessary, but white is the color I've ordered in the past. I don't think there's any advantage to white, at least not for what I'm doing right here. I hope this is maybe 5 or 6 minutes later. I've just hit all the sides of these floor sections. On a dry brush, there's me removing the paint. It's a little wet still. I mean, if you know how to dry brush, which I would hope anyone watching the video does, it's not terribly exciting. So, just dry brushing. I'm just also illustrating how little time I'm really going to just spin on these floors. But I think the end result is pretty nice. What I'm using here is Country Gray. So this is what I use for dry brushing. Also on my fortress wall sections. Same thing. Same basic scheme. The fortress walls actually have black on them. These floor sections don't. So just dry brushing and I will be all set. To add some wear and tear or visual interest, as Mike from Terranscapes would say, I paint in some colors. I did a couple black or dark washes, and then I go over them and dry brush with my 2 different shades of gray, so only what was in the recesses really remains. And those are my city streets from Hirst Arts using mold number 210.